A Legend by Steve Heroux. And he shall wipe all tears from their eyes. Isaiah 25, verse 7 and 8. Revelation 21, verse 3 through 5. No one knows for sure whatever became of them after what happened in Bethlehem. Some say they moved away and settled beyond Jerusalem, where the father found work and a new life for his family. Others seem to recall that he was crippled after being beaten by a gang of thieves. They recount that he ended his days crawling the streets begging for bread, and that his wife became a prostitute. Legend has it that she gave birth to Mary Magdalene. As for the boy, it is believed he ran away from home. Some say to join a band of shepherds. Others say he roamed the surroundings of Jerusalem, where he struggled for living. Many believe he spent the rest of his life looking for Jesus, or argue that he forgot him altogether. It was quite an unusual night. The air, normally crisp and cool, sang as the stern wind that caressed his face with a warm and smooth breeze filled his lungs with delight. What made his mood so joyful? Although the atmosphere was charged with energy, it was laden with a peace that no other night had conveyed like this one. Never had he seen a night so clear and a sky so close. One could almost reach the stars. Shining pearls they were at his fingertips. In the distance, the fleece of the sheep mirrored the firmament. On many a nightly trip to town, coming down from the hills, he had watched the shepherds tending their flocks and had been drawn to them. Now he would often break from the gang and slip away to join those guarding the animals. With them, amidst flocks and stories, he felt secure in the cool of the night, for a short while. He knew too well he'd get in trouble for it. Nonetheless, he loved these moments of tranquility, away from violence and a life of hiding. At least the sheep, he thought, had someone to look after them. A rough life these shepherds led, and they were no soft characters. Yet they took to the boy and would always welcome him without much ado. A thief, born of a family of thieves, a child of no more than 8, already versed in the ways of deceit. He did not tell them why he came around so late every night, nor where he'd come from. They didn't ask. Did they know? He would hang out in the shepherd's world for a while and then disappear to join with his band and go on stealing whatever could be found. Whenever he delayed too long in the fields, he'd have to go back home empty-handed and receive his punishment for a wasted night. Being beaten was almost routine now. But he had developed a tough and defiant spirit. His father's blows no longer reached his heart. The other pain he had gotten used to somehow. The last few nights had been particularly rich in looting and pickpocketing. Since the census had been ordered, the town was overflowing with folks from all over. The inns packed to the gills, the streets a constant coming and going. It was almost too easy to disappear amidst the crowds, and the spoils were a feast. So good that his father had even forgotten the boy and his new habit of coming home with nothing to show for himself. But that night, he did not come home at all. He'll be fine. He's a tough kid. Besides, a few nights out in the cold will do him good. If he won't bring us anything anymore, being on his own will just force him back into the trade. As for us, one less mouth to feed. You'll see, hunger will drive him back home. Then we'll talk sense into him. Let him be. He was with the shepherds. And it was indeed a night like none he would ever experience again. An amazing night filled with glory and heavenly music. The proclamation of the angel's message that a Savior was born. He was right there with them, and they were all terrified. Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. You will find a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And so, filled with anticipation, they ran, flocks and all, to the outskirts of Bethlehem, where they found Mary and Joseph with the baby lying in a manger. A great star shone just above the stable where the child was born, flooding the manger with light. The baby's face was radiant, so beautiful. He slept peacefully as they gave him homage, and recounted the story of the angels to Mary and Joseph. The boy could not take his eyes from the baby's face while he hid behind the shepherds, not daring to move forward. "Don't be shy," said the mother. Bashfully he let her lead him closer to the manger, his heart pounding like little hammers in his chest. And as he got right next to the baby, he thought he saw him smile. "Did you see that?" he whispered. "Yes," said Joseph quietly, laying his hand on the boy's shoulder, drawing him and Mary gently into the folds of his cloak. Slowly, one by one, the shepherds went back to their fields as though wrapped in silence. The sun had already risen when Joseph told the boy he should go back home now. He had been so caught up in the baby's presence that he had not even noticed the shepherd's departure, or the night vanish. But now that he had to go, Joseph could see fear in those little eyes. "Do not be afraid. Remember the baby's face." "I will never forget," replied the child. And as he ran away, he heard the mother's gentle voice, "Come again sometime, little one. You are my son's very first friend." When he finally joined the shepherds, they ran toward him, picked him up, threw him up into the air, laughing, dancing, playing their flute. "Little one, you are the luckiest of all." The boy's father was not in such a festive mood when his child returned to the hideout. "Well, look who's here. So you took a night off, didn't you? And as usual, you didn't bring me anything to help forgive your offense. Where have you been, boy?" Remembering the baby's beautiful face and Joseph's words, he stood up before his father and told the story. The angels, the baby, the star, just as it had all happened. "Don't lie to me, you useless dreamer. Who do you think I am?" The slap came hard. The boy spun, fell, bit his lip. Tears poured as he buried his face in his hands. "Since you can't be of any use to us away from here, you won't be going anywhere. And if you leave and I should find you, you won't be getting just a slap in the face. Understood? You'd better make yourself useful around here." "Come again sometime, little one. You are my son's very first friend." Would he ever see his little friend again? The big bright star shining over the stable on that glorious night reappeared the following night for the whole world to see. The boy's heart jumped for joy as he saw it there, so beautiful, so radiant. He ran to his father. Dad, look at the star. It's the one I told you about. See, I didn't lie to you. Please, let me go again. Can I?" His father looked up, surprised, pensive, then snapped back. "Be quiet. I have work to do. The people will start going away to their own villages soon. We'll have to make the best of it while the tide is high. As for you, I told you to stay home, and you'd better be here when I return." He slammed the door and left. As the thieves dispersed through the crowds, they heard people talking about the shepherds, who said they had seen a miracle, a baby in a manger, a star overhead. Common folks were so intent on looking up and gossiping that their pockets were easy to probe. Give people something to look at and talk about, and you can take the cloak off their backs, thought the father. Yet he could not help being intrigued. Once in a while he glanced at the star. Days passed into nights, nights into days, days into weeks. The crowds had left Bethlehem, but the star kept shining. People grew accustomed to it. Some complained it kept them awake. Others visited the stable once or twice, saw no angels, no miracle, only Joseph, Mary, and the little one. Eventually, even that novelty faded. Only the shepherds kept an interest, bringing clothes and food, making sure the baby was safe and comfortable. And in the hills, the little boy, locked away, watched the star. Every night it brought back the baby's face, the smell of fresh straw, Joseph's strong and kind hand on his shoulder, the warmth of the man's cloak grazing his cheek. Then the songs and dance of the shepherds as they tossed him in the air, and the lady's voice, "You are my son's very first friend." One evening the child's father took him by the arm and said, "It's time you pick up the trade again, boy. Tonight you're coming with us, but I won't let you out of my sight, and you'd better not disappoint me. Understand?" Although his father's grip hurt, the boy was secretly thrilled. He thought to himself, "How beautiful the shepherd's fields will be in the light of the star. Perhaps we will pass by the stable. If I could only catch a glimpse of the baby, of his kind father and his beautiful mother. Do they remember me? Does he remember me?" "By the way," his father added, "rumor has it that 3 rich strangers went to visit that stable of yours. People say they came from far away to see the infant king of the Jews, and I am King Herod." He added this mockingly. "They also say that the strangers left the family with some amazing gifts, precious gifts. Things have slowed down since the crowds left. The stranger's visit might be very timely. Let's go." Putting his dagger into his belt, he dragged the boy along. The star shone brightly in the distance, beautiful as ever, but the sight of it was now a torment. He could not bear the thought of betraying his friends, or the thought of violence being done unto them. How he wished he could run away to the stable and warn them, tell them to flee or hide. He knew there was no way to escape his father's grip and that band of men. His eyes watered with anguish. And then it was that something happened with the star. Something just as amazing as when it had first appeared. It began to dim slowly, like the flame of a candle on its way out. Steadily it became smaller and smaller until it vanished altogether, leaving in its place a black, starless sky. They were all awestruck and wondered what this could mean. A strange, unsettling silence filled the air, like that which happens before a storm. Some of the men became agitated, scared, and wanted to turn back. "This is not a good sign," they muttered. "What's the matter with you?" replied another. "Can't you work in the dark any more? You superstitious little girls." The father was silent. Eventually they pressed on. The darkness would, after all, be their ally. They were not too far from their hiding place, on their way towards Bethlehem, when they met the silhouette of a man leading a donkey. The animal was loaded with what seemed like a couple of baskets, one on either flank, and someone, probably a woman, sat on its back wrapped in a mantle. "Look what we have here," said one of the men. "What are you peasants doing on this road at such an ungodly hour?" The band, like a pack of wolves, circled the travelers. All were but shadows in the night. Another of the men, the one who had urged the band to press on, spoke again. "Don't you know that these roads are not safe at night, and that many fools get assaulted? What's your business?" Walking slowly around the man and woman, as if to discern and study their features, he went on. "Our business is to rob travelers like you, and you fell right into the trap." I am Joseph, son of David, and I travel with my wife. We are leaving Bethlehem and have a baby boy with us. We wish you no harm and trust that you will show us mercy." At the sound of Joseph's voice, the boy tore himself away from his father's hand and cried out, "Please, don't hurt them! Don't harm them! I beg you!" The thief who had been speaking tossed the boy aside and continued, "Well, well, these are then the stable folks. Here are our gift-bearers. Where do you carry what was given you by those strangers? The night has eyes, you know, and messengers as well." And probing in the dark, he started searching the baskets. The mother held her sleeping child tight against her breast, covering him with her mantle. At that moment the boy's father came forward and pulled the other thief away, saying, "Stop it! We will not do these people harm." At his words, everyone, shocked, fell silent for a moment, then instantly began to argue and protest. "They're right here in our hand, and hidden from the rest of the world. They can't even see our faces. Didn't we set out to steal from them? What happened to you? Have you lost your mind? Gold! Didn't you hear? They have gold! Let's just take the money and let them go if that's all we do." Such havoc should have wakened the baby with fright, but not a sound came from where he lay in his mother's arms. The travelers were silent. The father, leader of the thieves, repeated, "We won't harm these people, and we will not steal from them. The night is dark enough, and we should take advantage of it while it lasts. Business is waiting. Get on your way and see what you can find." "We found what we're looking for. What's the matter with you?" "Be quiet," replied the father, raising his hand and voice. "I said go on." And lowering his voice, he continued, "I'll stay with these people and make sure no harm comes to them." "You liar!" shouted another thief. "You just want to keep the gold for yourself. As soon as we're out of sight, you'll take it from them and send them away, and we'll be waiting. The night is dark indeed, and if we can't find the gold then, it's to your place that we will, all of us, come. I said that no harm would be done to these people, and no harm will be done by me or any of us. Come, boy," said the man to his son. "Let's take them away from here." And turning around, they led the travelers to safety. "What is the baby's name?" asked the boy to Joseph. "His name is Jesus," answered Mary. "Woman," shouted the father to his wife when they arrived at the hiding place, "give these people something to eat and drink, and find them a place to sleep. They'll stay with us for the night and leave tomorrow." "This night worries me," said the woman. "Something frightful is in the air." "Can I see Jesus?" asked the boy as he looked at Mary. She unveiled her son's little face. His eyes were wide open, and the two boys locked eyes together. "Hi, Jesus," said the boy. "Remember me?" The baby stretched out his little hands, tapped the boy's cheeks and nose, and grabbed at his eyebrows. The boy took the baby's hand in his own and kissed it. He then pressed the little hands against his cheeks. "Good night. You will be safe here." Shortly after sunrise, they were awakened by a rumble rising in the distance. A roar became louder and louder as though drawing near, a thundering sound making the very earth tremble. Horses galloping, and on their backs, soldiers riding towards Bethlehem. From the hiding place high on the hills, they could all see the thick cloud of dust rising in the army's wake. The baby awoke crying with sharp and loud cries. Horses and riders entered the town. Screams, cries, moans rose from within its walls, flooding the surroundings with their echo. Terror had descended upon Bethlehem and torn her apart with its claws. Jesus was inconsolable. All were seized with anguish. Joseph cried as he held Mary in his arms, who in turn secured the baby tight against her heart. How long did it all last? Horses and riders left with the same thundering noise. But as the thunder became roar and roar turned into rumble, vanishing in the distance, the moans of mourning they had left in their wake kept on rising from within the town, loud laments that would not be consoled. The boy drew near Mary and Joseph, and the baby still sobbing and moving his little arms and legs restlessly. With swollen eyes, he asked timidly, "Can I hold Jesus?" And Mary let her son go into the arms of the little beggar. He held him fast to his chest and gently walked away with him in silence. He let the baby's head rest between his cheek and shoulder, feeling his little heart against his own. Back and forth he walked, as long as it took, until the baby settled and the sobs turned to spurts of deep breathing. Finally, little Jesus fell asleep. While the boy laid him back in the arms of his beautiful mother, Joseph leaned toward him and said, "You once saw the baby's smile. Now you tasted his sorrow, the sorrow of all men. Do not forget, neither the smile nor the sorrow. Now we have to leave for a long journey. We are heavy with grief, but we must hurry and walk on." They thanked the father and his wife for protecting and sheltering them. "God is with you," said the wife. And Joseph replied, looking at them both, "May the infant king remember you." As they were leaving the thief's house, Mary turned her face to the boy, looked intently at him, and said softly, "My son's very first friend." He ran to the highest rock he could find and remained there watching Joseph, Mary, and Jesus walk away until they had vanished in the distance. No one knows for sure whatever became of them after what happened in Bethlehem. As for the boy, days passed into nights, and nights back into days, and days again into weeks. Weeks became months, and months turned into years. Years became decades. Almost a lifetime had passed since that day when, high on a rock, he had watched Jesus, Mary, and Joseph slowly disappear in the distance. Now he hung on a cross, a condemned criminal. Next to him, together with him, an innocent man was being crucified. The two men locked eyes together. "Jesus, remember me?" The innocent one smiled. "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. This very day you will be with me in paradise."